Hi, it's Mr. Rankin. Welcome to our third part of some of our Forbes reasons why businesses go out of business. And this relates to our project where you manage the business. Number three, they have a very high reliance on debt. Now, debt's an interesting thing. Lots of people make lots of money on other people's money. You may have heard that. But it also greatly increases the risk. And therefore, the more risk, the higher the rewards, but also you're improving your odds that you might go out of business. So this is kind of a fancy chart. But what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to say, let's say investor A invests all equity, $1,000. And let's say in the first scenario, the event is profits double. So he or she ends up with $2,000 on an investment of $1,000. Pretty doggone good, right? But let's take investor number two or business owner number two who put their $1,000 in and then borrowed $9,000, so they had a total of $10,000 to work with. That doubles, so now they have $20,000. They pay back the loan of $9,000. That leaves them with $11,000 on only a $1,000 investment. That's called leveraging. They leveraged by borrowing people's money, and it really dramatically increases the potential rewards. And like I said, a lot of people have made millions of dollars on other people's money. But here's the catch to that. If you look at the bottom half of the chart, this is sort of saying what happens if you have a decline of 50%. So the person that went out and used all their own money, all equity, $1,000, the decline of 50%, so they lose $500. They lost all their own money. However, the person in the same scenario who got $1,000 of their own equity, borrowed $9,000, so they had $10,000, right? Now they lose 50% of that. They go $5,000 minus the $1,000 minus the $9,000 they pay back. They lose $9,500 on just a $1,000 investment. So the key thing is here, and the reason businesses, you're basically upping the risk, right, when you borrow money, right? You're borrowing money, that makes it much more risky. You see that in the home marketplaces, right? You probably heard underwater, right, in places like Florida or Nevada, where people mortgage very highly on their house, and that works great as long as housing prices are increasing. When housing prices decline and the bank forecloses on the loan, that's a different story. So now it's your turn. And again, I encourage you to understand the hint. Don't memorize the hint. Understand why borrowing more money increases the risk level of your business substantially. Now that may, in times of rising tides, that's a good thing. But in times of declines, that can really bite your business. Hey, thanks for watching. Any questions about the game, the project, the class, let me know. Thanks.